let's talk about law school internships. Let's chitty chat and clean because I've got things to chat about, but I've got too much going on with being a full-time attorney, working as a professor and supervising attorney at a pro bono family law clinic, being a human, and just trying to survive. For instance, on the flip side, what I do during my interviews with interns is I tell them before they even ask, I say, okay, this is what this is going to look like. It's a little unorthodox, but you are going to be by my side pretty much all summer. This is altering a little bit because I do have a second office that I am leasing out that I will have for my intern to have her own private space. But typically I would spend all my time with the interns in a conference room all day. And sometimes I'll share my screen so they can see exactly what it is that I'm doing. So they're going to be right there with me pretty much all day. So court in my county that I'm in the most starts at 9 a.m. So I tell them on days that we have court, they should meet me there at 8:45. We're not going to meet at the office. We'll meet straight at court, and they will be with me. So they will get to see every single court case I do. They're going to be part of conversations with clients in the hallways and in the attorney rooms. And then they're going to watch me litigate every single case. Now, very few exceptions, and I tell them this, if we've got a full day hearing one day and we've got a full day hearing or trial the next day, they might be at the office prepping for the next day trial, doing binders and exhibit books and things like that. But unless there is an extenuating circumstance and we haven't prepared in advance very well, sometimes a DVPO, a domestic violence protective order, will come up and you'll have like 3 days notice. So sometimes it's just impossible to be fully prepared at all times. But we try to stay on top of it. So the goal would be anytime I am in a courtroom or in a courthouse, my intern is right there with me. They're not sitting in the office doing a research project. And of the interns I've had, they've had other internships and they're like, that's what it was like. Like, I've never had so much direct access to the attorney. And then there's kind of like a stream of consciousness. And so this is not, my particular internship is probably not for everybody. And so I tell them at the beginning, you're going to be with me 24/7. We're going to go to court. Also, when we're not in court, we will usually be in the same room. There'll be a few hours a day that I might just need to lock in and focus, because when we're in the same room, I read emails aloud, I share my screen, I show them how I respond. They're CC'd in every single communication that's related to any client case that comes through. I try to find emails that they can respond to that don't require legal advice, but just information that the client, the opposing party, opposing counsel, or the court might need. So I try to give them things that they can actually do. And then obviously there's drafting documents. So typically initial complaints and initial court documents, I try to have them do the majority of the drafting. However, I have a giant template bank. I also in my template bank have examples. I'm like, this is a great example of a child custody complaint. I will tell them where they can, or I'll say, this is a great client to look at. Their paperwork was really good. It's very similar to this particular case. And I tell them, if I give you a task and there's not instructions, then I might want you to struggle. Sometimes struggling to find something is the best way to learn and remember and get that educational moment. But I don't want them to waste time. I'm not going to be mean and be like, oh, go do this task and don't come back to me till it's done. And it's something that I could have helped them figure out in 2 minutes versus 2 hours. That's ridiculous. So I talk a lot about all of the things that they will be doing. I'll tell them sometimes sometimes we need a walk and we'll walk to the post office together. Sometimes I'll send them alone. So I am very, very specific and detailed with what they're going to be doing and their interaction with me. So if you are interning and you're going to have heavy interaction with the attorney, so this advice isn't going to be as necessary for everything, but if you're going to be interacting in the way that I am and you don't like that particular person as a human, it's probably not a great internship. So if I'm not someone's cup of tea, you can have attorneys that you don't like that much and probably have a good internship based on what you're looking for. But if you're going to be with them almost 24/7, not 24/7, but if you're going to be with them 90% of the time that you're interning, it's probably not a good fit. So ask about what your duties will be, what your opportunities will be. And if the person doesn't have an answer, then that's probably not an internship you want to do, just being totally honest. And then obviously look at the personality of the person hiring you. The place that I went, my first lawyer job,
in my gut was like, this person feels so disingenuous. Like, I feel like they're lying to me. And I got over it because I was like, what would be the point of lying to me? They're just, unfortunately, in law and in life, there are just people out there that are completely selfish and only looking out for themselves. And sometimes they will do that in maybe slightly dishonest ways. And how they rationalize it and sleep at night, I will never know. But if you get a gut feeling that this is not a good human, a good person, you know, there's that old saying that you are like the people you spend the most time with, and that's going to be the person that you're working for and working with. So maybe don't take that internship. But all in all, I think internships are so important. Like I said, I've had 7 interns. I'm so proud of every single one of them. And I hope that at some point they will all come back to me as attorneys, and I'll have the opportunity to work with them as an equal, because I've just seen them grow and I know how capable and wonderful they are. And I guess my last piece of advice is the way that I'm talking about my interns. Like, my interns are phenomenal. My law firm turned 1 year old and I forgot. It was on the calendar. I just have so many things going on. And I got to the office and they threw a birthday party for the law firm and for me. They had, actually, it's the back of my car. I wonder, see the gold right there? That is a giant 1-year balloon, okay? So they got me a 1-year-old balloon, and they had party hats and they baked a cake, and I don't deserve them. They are wonderful, and I think we've just built this relationship where we all truly care about one another. I want them to be successful. They want me and the firm to be successful. Like, that's what you're looking for. So if you're watching this, try to find someone that can hire you, that you're going to have that kind of relationship, that, oh my gosh. Try to find someone that's going to give you that sort of relationship, because so much of an internship is the mentorship aspect. But I just want to encourage people, if you can't find that and you can't find anything paid, yes, having something on your resume is important. But if you get an internship that's not providing you a lot of educational experience, it's not giving you a lot of mentorship, then find ways to quantify what you are spending your time doing so that you can still talk about it in a job interview. And even if it doesn't really help you further your career in the moment and further your education and your experience level and your relationships with another attorney, find a way to still make it of value on your resume. If it's just a line on your resume that you can't talk about, I'm just telling you, that's not going to go very far in a job interview. But, you know, go find tasks to do. Like, say your attorney isn't giving you stuff or shoving you in a room, like, go reorganize the supply closet. I mean, just find ways to make it worth your time and energy. But I wish everyone luck. It is March, so I think a lot of people already have their internships or they're still looking. If you're watching this and you don't have one yet and you're panicking, I just found and hired my intern for the summer within the last week and a half. So there's still time. I'll leave you with this as a tidbit. Get to know professors, get to know people at your law school. I found my intern not through a job posting, not through a board, but because I have a relationship with the family law professor at my law school, because I work with him at the pro bono clinic, and asked him for a recommendation. And this person reached out to him, and I was very strongly against hiring someone that was only had 1 year of law school under their belt. This person that I hired only has 1 year of law school, but her background is incredible. I'm not gonna, blast her on here, but I am so excited to be working with her. And she proactively reached out to the clinic director of the pro bono clinic, said, I want to do family law. I want to be part of the clinic. I want to take all your classes. And he was so impressed with her when I asked for recommendations. He said, I know how you feel about hiring someone that only has been in law school for a year, but I think you should meet with her. He was totally right. She was phenomenal. So I cannot stress how important it is to make relationships with people. This was a total networking leading to an internship moment. She had no idea when she met with the clinic director that it was going to lead to her internship, but he did mention she was going in person to law firms in town that do family law, handing out her resume, asking for an internship. And let me just tell you, every single one of those law firms missed out. Like, we haven't even started work, and she is going to be amazing. And again, this is me, this is how I feel about my interns. Find a lawyer that's going to feel this way about you. It's going to be, and it's hard, but just find it. Do your research, talk to people, network, ask about law firms, ask about like which law firms have really great attorneys that are going to invest in me. Like, you want a lawyer to be your employer that cares about you individually, and you're not just somebody else that can help with revenue and someone else that can help with time, or it's just like, oh, I'm going to have an intern because it makes me feel good. I'm going to throw them in the closet. Like, find someone that cares. Find someone that cares. I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks for coming to this chitty chat, clean, and run errands kind of day. I'll have to let you know how the promo shoot goes. The promo shoot is for, I mentioned the podcast, but we're also considering a billboard. Our first billboard. So I'll have to let you know. I promise the hair will be dry, curled. I will have makeup on. I will not look like this. But again, if you do not already have an internship, it is not too late. You can do it. Keep trying. I think it's a great idea to go in person, drop off your resume. But start talking to people. Talk to the people at your law school and ask them for help. They want to help. We all want you to be successful. Anyway, bye.